All right, please confirm if you can hear me and you can see me. Can everyone please confirm? If you can hear me, you can see me, please let me know. I have to close some applications.
I can hear you, ma.
All right, and you
hear
can
you
see
and
me.
I can see you.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you to everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Toluwa Loju. I hope I got that correctly. Welcome. My name is Emanuela Imo, and I am your host for today's event. Please give me 1 second again. I have to shut down more applications on my laptop so that Zoom can work effectively. Unfortunately, it's slowing down a lot. We started in a jiffy. Yes. Wonderful. Great. Yes. And everyone can still see my screen. Yes? Okay. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. Like I said before, my name is Emanuela. I am the Director of Communications here at the Smile Outreach. Please feel free to call me Ella. I just want to say congratulations to all of you who are our fellows. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. And for those of you who are here just to participate in the Vav Special program, welcome, and thank you also for joining us. So without further ado, we're going to get straight into why we're here today. But before we do that, I just want to see in the chat, please tell us your name, where you're joining us from, maybe your state or the country you're joining us from. Let's get to connect with each other and see where you're joining us from. Like I said, my name is Ella. I'm joining you from Cyprus. Let me know where you're joining us from. I'm going to stop sharing and come into the chat so we could just engage for a little while. Hi, Tolu, joining from Lokoja. Ooh, how is Lokoja today? How is Lokoja today? Yes, please keep it coming. Where are you joining us from? Very hot, I know, right? Gloria, joining us from the city of Abuja. Welcome. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, keep it coming. Where are you joining us from? Drop in the chat. Oparo chat. Let me call you Divine, please. Divine joining from Imo State. How is Imo State today? Sadiq from Ekiti, amazing, all the way from the west. Ilori, how are you doing? And we have Mesoma from Lagos. How is Eko today? We have, who else? Amira from Abuja. We have so many Abuja people here. We should connect sometime, right? Who else? Who else? Please keep it coming. Keep it coming. Where are you joining us from? All the way from Borno State. Oh my goodness, this is super amazing. Really great to have you here. How is Borno today? How is Borno today? Ogun, how is it doing? How is it, Agnes? Thank you so much for joining us. Edo State, how are you doing today? How do they greet? Is it Mingwo? Is it Warrior Edo that greets Mingwo? Anyways, thank you so much for joining us from Edo State, Grace. Yes, we are about 24 people here, but I can see only 6 comments. So please keep it coming before we go straight into why we're here. I want to see you and know where you're joining from so that we can get to know each other. We have people from Borno, from Lagos, from Abuja, from Ibadan, from everywhere, all across Nigeria. Amazing. Delta. Oh, okay. It's Delta that greets Migwa. Okay. All right. Thank you for the correction. Okay. We see Oyo, Ibadan. That's wonderful. Please keep it coming. Keep it coming. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you. Okay. So I'm going to go back to sharing my screen again. I realized it stopped sharing at some point. Great. So thank you so much for introducing yourselves. It is really great to have you all here again. Without further ado, we're just going to go straight into while we're here. So you've introduced yourself. I have introduced myself. It is time to introduce the Smile Outreach to you. So who are we? What do we do? At the Smile Outreach, we are a dedicated nonprofit organization with a sole mission to empower and uplift communities across Nigeria. And we focus on adolescent health, women's empowerment, and youth agency for social change. And we specifically work to counteract sexual grooming and cross-generational sexual relationships by implementing sensitization programs that empower and embolden adolescents to resist sexual predators and recognize signs of sexual grooming. Additionally, we're working tirelessly to eradicate menstrual inequities, child marriage, and harmful traditional practices through education, support, and advocacy. We have so many programs here at the Smile Outreach. However, our flagship programs are the Good Cycle program, which is focused on battling sexual grooming, facilitating education, and eradicating period poverty. We have the Outreach Challenge, which is also, a proactive initiative dedicated to tackling the issue of sexual predators and also manipulating young individuals into unhealthy relationships. We also have the Bold Spaces, which is designed to educate and empower young minds on sexual grooming and other themes through a unique blend of play and learning. And finally, we have the Youth Lab, which is why we're here, or part of why we're here, which is a catalyzing youth agency as a social change, as social change makers and emboldening adolescents to make informed and healthy relationship decisions. And so we're supposed to have our founder here today to make the introduction to the Outreach Youth and Adolescent Lab. Unfortunately, she's not able to make it, so I'm going to be standing in for her to bring you up to speed on what the Outreach Youth and Adolescent Lab is all about. And like I said before, it's basically catalyzing youth agency as social change makers and emboldening adolescents to make informed sexual decisions. So what exactly in detail is the Youth Lab? It's a comprehensive program, right? Basically designed to train and support youth advocates like you, while simultaneously developing and disseminating educational resources tailored to at-risk adolescents. And our approach is simple: to get 20 to 50 young leaders, equip them with the skills to drive social change and lead youth-led movements. And, this 20 to 50 young leaders would move the mission into the broader world, reaching 10,000 adolescents across Nigeria to help them receive crucial education on key SRHR issues. And we have 4 thematic areas: sexual grooming, cross-generational sex, menstrual health, child marriage, and FGM. And our mission is twofold: training and empowerment, simply to train and empower emerging youth advocates through our homegrown educational resources and tailored capacity building programs, and also education and engagement. So we are very key with engaging all of the adolescents that we work with. And so we've developed so many tools and resources, which is like the fun, play tools and resources to create a narrative of empowerment and heighten awareness for the adolescents that we actually reach out to. And our goals for this Youth Lab program is simple: capacity building, resources and toolkits development, dissemination, and advocacy. We want to be able to reach at least 10,000 adolescents, together with all of the advocates that we have in the program. And we want to do this yearly. But beyond that, we also want to co-create and adapt educational toolkits and resources, which are the comics, animations, flashcards, and all of that, to our context as Nigerians. Like I said before, the project has 3 pillars: capacity building, co-creation, practice dissemination, and all of that. So you're going to get so much more of this information in your program guides that will be shared with you. And before I just move further, I would just like to introduce some members of our team that are here on the call with us. If you're here, Smile Outreach team, if I call your name, please just unmute your mic and say hi. We have Hazel, our programs manager, right here with us on the call. Is Hazel here? Could you say hi?
Oh, hi, Ella. Hi, everyone. It's nice to be here.
Okay. Thank you so much, Hazel. We also have Cynthia. She's our comms associate. She's also here with us on the call. Is Cynthia here?
Hi, everyone.
Okay, thank you so much. We have ID Idoyasit. She's the Youth Lab Engagement Officer. ID has been the one texting you and reminding you and bugging you with messages. So ID, can you say hi, please?
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon.
Thank you. And we have Gloria. She's the programs officer. Is Gloria here?
Hi, everyone.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. So we have the entire member of the team here, except our founder, who, like I said, is unavoidably absent. Thank you so much for unmuting your mics. And without further ado, we're going to be introducing our keynote speaker, who is going to be sharing with us from his wealth of knowledge today as we launch the Youth Lab today. And so, ladies and gentlemen, please permit me to introduce to you Dr. Eno Stevens. Dr. Eno Awa Georges Stevens has over 10 years of experience in program design and implementation on sexual, reproductive, maternal, newborn child, and adolescent health. Based in Cameroon, Eno manages, advocates, Amaze International work in sub-Saharan Africa. In this capacity, he cultivates organic and strategic partnerships at the regional and local levels, providing technical support to partner organizations on youth, sexual and reproductive health, programming with a focus on sexuality education, use, adaptation, and dissemination of Amaze digital resources and meaningful youth engagement. Prior to joining Advocates, Eno served as a physician in obstetrics and gynecology, managed youth sexual and reproductive health programs, and provided technical support on sexuality education, family planning, reproductive health, HIV prevention, quality of care, learning resource package development, and transfer of learning in emergency and post-conflict settings in sub-Saharan Africa. Eno is a board member at Core Group and ShareNet International. He has received Certificate of Honor in Community Medicine, an Associate Royal Commonwealth Fellow, and Youth Engagement Consultant. Eno holds a Master's of Public Health degree, Doctor of Medicine degree, Professional Masters in Clinical Sexology, Postgrad Diploma in Project Management, Community Health, Sexual and Reproductive Health, as well as Organizational Leadership. He's fluent in English and French and has a working knowledge of Swahili, Spanish, and Arabic. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Eno Stevens. Sava, Dr. Eno.
Thank you very much. I see we're reading. I was a bit surprised if that's me, you know.
Oh, yes, that's
if
you.
that's a biography about me, but that's a lot. Hello, everyone. I thank you very much. Quite happy to be here and to join you on this on the launch of this lab. I think this is a dream come true to us at
Yes,
Advocates
absolutely.
for Youth. I think that Emanuela has really spoken well, and we are very happy that we are supporting the Smart Outreach to do this wonderful work, not only in Nigeria. Hopefully, this spans across, sub-Saharan Africa. And thank you very much for inviting me, to provide a keynote address today. It's really an honor to stand before you during this occasion in the launch of this of the Youth and Adolescent Lab Fellowship. This gathering is really not just about the program. I think it's more or less a movement for education, for advocacy, and for the protection of the rights and dignity of young people especially girls. And I'm very happy that we are doing so as we commemorate the International Day for the Elimination of Female Genital Mutilation. Really, it reminds us about the harmful practices, which is going on not only in Nigeria, but in other countries like the Gambia, like Cameroon, where I come from. And it really violates, human rights and continues to have an impact on millions of girls and women worldwide. As you know, female genital mutilation is deeply rooted in cultural traditions, yet it has no medical benefit and it causes a lifelong physical, emotional, and psychological harm. But there is good news. And the good news is that change is happening, and me and you, are leading this change for young people. And I believe that this fellowship is about equipping young advocates with knowledge, with skills, but also with a platform to challenge harmful practices, shift mindsets, and champion the rights for your peers. I think that the platform which Female Outreach provides is a platform where you can have your say, you can advocate, but you can also lead the change in terms of, educating young people around sexual and reproductive health. One of the things or the most powerful tools in this fight is education. Not just any education, but engaging, inclusive, and accessible education that speaks directly to young people in ways that resonates with them. And this is where Amaze Africa plays critical role. As you know, at Amaze Africa, we are revolutionizing sex education by using digital tools, animated videos, and culturally relevant content to provide young people with the information they need to make informed, safe, and empowered decisions about their bodies and their futures. So we believe that when young people have access to the right knowledge, they become powerful agents of change. While growing up, my father used to tell me that knowledge is power. Once you know, you're able to make any decision based on the knowledge you've acquired. And so the more knowledge you have, the more grounds you have in making a decision. You make a decision being conscious of the fact that you know what you're doing. So the question of harmful traditions, to advocate for the rights and to educate the community is very critical in the work which the Female Outreach is doing. And this aligns perfectly well with the vision of this fellowship, which aims, of course, to train and to empower young leaders to take the active role in shaping the future. We are shaping the future and impacting the life of young people through, communicating effectively in sexual and reproductive health. And so really to the young leaders we have, to the fellows we have here today, I just want to say that you are really those that can create change in this current dispensation or generation. Whatever you're going to do with the Female Outreach, your voice matters. Your advocacy matters. Your experiences matters. We want to hear your experiences. We want to hear what you're able to do. We want to know how we can support you. And so your courage to challenge the status quo is what would lead us to the world where no girl has to suffer, whether be it sexual grooming, be it female genital mutilation, be it menstrual poverty, or any other harmful practice. We rely on you. So don't take this fellowship for granted. It's a very important fellowship. I think that I have crossed the age of a youth because I'm no longer below 30. And one of the things that strengthened my professional career and growth was the fact that I maximize the use of fellowship and training programs. It's a very important aspect in the life of every young person because it guarantees, it provides you with a platform where you can acquire knowledge, where you can advocate, and you can make your voice heard. But also, I have a word for, colleagues from the Female Outreach. We need to continue to stand together, amplify the voices of young people. We need to hear the voices of even the fellows, invest in their potential, and ensure that sex education is not a privilege, but it's a right for everyone. It is indeed not a privilege. And I believe that together through the Outreach Youth and Adolescent Lab Fellowship, Female Outreach, and advocates through Amaze Africa, we will not only be talking about change, but we will be driving change. And so the time is now. I think the time is now. Let us together act. I am here to support you. I've always, Advocate has always been a very strong, partner with the Smile Outreach. So we are here to support you. I represent advocates. I'm here to support you all the way. And if you need any support, any kind of assistance, let me know. And together, let's build, a strong movement that can drive change, not only talk about it, but drive change. Thank you very much for the opportunity to be here. And hopefully we will again meet, connect, and discuss as you go through this fellowship program. Thank you, and over to you, Emanuela.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ino, for that amazing word of encouragement. It is up to you, fellows. It is up to you to ensure that no girl has to go through FGM and all of the different vices, right? It is up to you. Thank you so much again, Dr. Ino, for that. And so now that we have had that from our keynote speaker, Dr. Ino from Amaze, we will just go into, introducing our experts to us. These are amazing women that you're going to be learning so much from in the course of this program. For the next 6 to 8 weeks, you're definitely going to be learning from different people across board, things that would definitely help you to become better advocates and champions of the various courses that you are in. So we have Morenike Jimi Olawale Olaniro, the resource expert in charge of the menstrual equity cluster. We also have Goodness James, the resource expert in charge of the child marriage cluster. We have Sisan Josephine Victor Woko, the resource expert in charge of FGM. We also have Otaria Benjamin, the resource expert in charge of the sexual grooming cluster. Please, if your hands are not too busy, could you drop some hearts and likes and claps in the chat before I go on to fully introduce them to you? Please don't write on my screen. Just drop the hearts and the likes in the chat. Thank you so much to you all. Thank you. I see them. Thank you. Wonderful. Thank you. Okay, so first on our list is Morenike. She is a dedicated advocate, researcher, volunteer, and social impact leader with 5+ years of experience empowering underserved communities and IDP camps in Nigeria. She has impacted thousands of lives through initiatives focused on mental health, personal development, sexual and reproductive health. She holds a degree in child development and family psychology from Olabisi Onabanjo University and has advanced her expertise in human rights and sexual and gender-based violence at Harbour Heritage University. Her work is driven by a deep commitment to creating sustainable change. Morenike's dedication to social impact has earned her numerous awards and grants, recognizing her as a social advocate in community development and youth empowerment. Next, we have Goodness James. Goodness is a dynamic strategy communications manager and gender advocate dedicated to amplifying conversations that drive real change in women's health, digital literacy, and social development. With over 6 years of experience in stakeholder engagement, digital strategy, and impact-driven storytelling, she has carved a niche for herself as a champion of inclusive and transformative initiatives. As the founder of Project 29 Foundation, Goodness leads programs that bridge gaps in education, inclusion, and digital empowerment, equipping individuals, especially women and marginalized communities, with the tools to thrive. She is also the visionary behind the My Body Initiative, a powerful digital content series designed to break the silence on critical women's health issues, fostering open dialogue and awareness. Next up, we have Otaria Benjamin, a broadcast journalist, media professional, and advocate who uses storytelling as a catalyst for social transformation. As a journalist, she leverages investigative storytelling to challenge societal norms, amplify underrepresented voices, and drive impactful discussions on pressing issues. Through flagship programs like Society Watch and Marriage Banter, she has pioneered discussions on gender-based violence, drug abuse, and youth empowerment, fostering awareness and behavioral shifts at the grassroots level. A dynamic voice in both media and advocacy, Otaria is dedicated to ensuring young people are not just heard, but empowered to write or rewrite their own stories and challenge systemic barriers, one story, one community, and one movement at a time. And last but not the least, we have Sisan, a media and communications expert with a strong passion for public health advocacy, particularly in using storytelling and digital media to drive social change. With a first degree in biochemistry and a master's in communication from Pan Atlantic University, she merges scientific insights with creative communication strategies to address pressing societal issues. As a resource and training expert for the Outreach Youth and Adolescent Lab, she is dedicated to equipping young leaders with advocacy strategies, media campaigns, and stakeholder engagement techniques. Her approach emphasizes practical application, co-creation, and collaboration, ensuring that youth-led movements are sustainable and impactful. Ladies and gentlemen, you can agree with me that we have taken the best of the best, bringing them to your doorstep to teach you everything you need to know and empower you to be advocates in the communities that you serve. Please, our panelists and experts, could you please unmute your mic and just say hi to all of our fellows here so they can hear your voice for the first time?
Good afternoon, everyone.
Hi, good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Okay, thank you so much. So we're just going to be having a conversation with you, our panelists, about the process, how it was, and what our fellows should expect from you. And we'll just take it one step at a time, right? I have already introduced you already to the fellows by reading your profile, but I would like you to just say one thing. What is that one fun thing about you that you will be adding to the table during your interaction and conversations with the fellows? What is that one thing about you? Let's start with Morenike. I can see her here first.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Morenike Olaniran, and like she said, I'm very interested in menstrual equity and providing sustainable menstrual products to all girls, irrespective of their location or community. So I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Yes, Sisan, I see your mic is unmuted. Please tell us, what's that one special thing you're adding to the table beyond everything I introduced, your robust profile?
Okay, so I think one thing that I'll be bringing to the table is heart. Every of the advocates and the fellows that would be trained should prepare to live with a passion that would basically outlive them. So yes, I'll bring heart to the table.
Thank you so much. I love that, heart. Wonderful. Okay, so Otaria, I'm going to be asking you something quite different. You were involved in the process for selecting the fellows, choosing the fellows. Basically, it was up to you and the other experts to choose the fellows. So what exactly informed your decision to choose the specific fellows that are in your cluster at the moment? Do you mind giving us some insider view to that?
Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. For the fellows that were chosen in my cluster, for starters, I basically tried my best to look beyond academic qualification. I went through most profiles, seeking more of, the passion they had for the work, their level of critical thinking, and their commitment to advocacy was one of my, major focus. Also, I equally prioritize how fellows demonstrated, clear understanding of the issues and the thematic functions as regards sexual grooming and cross-generational relationships, and to see where they are and what they are doing, and where this program is going to take them after the process. Also, I equally focused on looked at some leadership potential as regards, when I got this opportunity, I thought more of people that when you empower them, they're still going to continue amplifying their voice and advocating, for the areas we're trying to take the problems as regards sexual grooming and cross-generational sexual relationships to drive real change.
Thank you so much for that. That must have been a very tedious and difficult decision for you to make, having to select from a lot of people.
It was, but just because we have all the fellows here, there was one thing I did. I feel that people should talk more about what they do, because if your voice is amplified as regards, maybe your platforms, your use of social media to amplify your voice, it's easier for people to get to see you and see the work you do, which was a strategy I used in actually picking the fellows while going through their profiles and all this picking over the years.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much for that. Morenike, what was your experience with the screening process? How was it like for you?
For me, it was, should I say stressful? It was, because a lot of them have excellent essays. They wrote well. So I think one thing that I had to go through their social media, because you have to have a personal branding if you want to be an advocate. You cannot just be in your community creating change without letting the world know. So I think one of the things I also had to do was go through their social media to check them, to see if they are really interested in learning and what they have been doing in their various community. So it was interesting, and it was inciting reading a lot of things and the amazing things that they are doing currently. So yeah, that was my experience.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And to all fellows that are listening to us right now, if there is one thing you must have picked from what all of the experts have just said, is blow your trumpet. Nobody will blow it for you. Showcase yourself, especially leveraging digital media, right, on your platforms. And so quickly, I will just run to Sisan. Please, what role do male advocates play in FGM prevention, especially in Nigeria? We're just rounding up with our 21 days campaign in commemoration of the FGM Day. And we've just been talking so much about people becoming advocates and all of that. And people would say because it's a woman's issue, men don't necessarily have a role to play. And so from your experience, what role do you think male advocates play in FGM? You're muted.
Okay, sorry about that. Can you hear me now?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay, so, female genital mutilation is a deeply cultural issue. Like if you, especially in Nigeria, in fact, globally, if you trace it down to culture, and if you trace the branches of culture, you would also see a hint of patriarchy, where male dominance, because women are being told that if you do it, you'll be more marriageable, more faithful, you'll be a better wife. So it will be beautiful to see men come out to debunk these myths, because if in the end we are trying to see how we can please them, and now they are the ones coming out to say, this is not relevant, this has no health benefit, this is not essential. Certainly, there's a lot of advantage in that. And there's also the fact that it's also easier for male advocates to talk to other men, because women who have, are victims of FGM most likely would transfer that particular understanding and knowledge to their children. And this actually is a menace. But if you have men, who get to tell other men that this is harmful, this should not be done, it's a lot easier than for a woman to come and say, okay, I want to talk to a man and say, some men might listen, but the that same level playing field that comes when it's okay, let's talk man to man. So basically it's practical, and that's why even when I selected my fellows, I had a couple of guys there, because men have, especially in Nigeria, they have authority. So when they lend their voices to causes like this, the impact is great and ginormous. So yes.
You're right. We need to begin to see men as allies in all of these causes that we champion, whether it's for women or not. Men are very strong allies. Goodness, I'm going to be coming to you now, and we're moving up to child marriage. Child marriage is something that happens in Nigeria, but I'm not sure we're still very conversant with the statistics and the trends. Could you please give us a little insight on the current statistics and trends in child marriage across different regions of Nigeria, and why it's important for us to really know about these things, especially in this fellowship?
Hi everyone. Hi Ella.
Hi.
So, like you made mention of, child marriage is a significant problem in Nigeria, and across our region there are different gaps. And generally, nationally, we have about 43% of women that got married between the age of 20 to 24, and we have about 18% that got married before they were 8. That's nationally. Now, taking it back to region base, in the north and northwest and northeast, we have about 78 percentage of girls that got married before the age of 18. And in this region, this percentage is really high. In North Central, we have about 37 percentage of women that of girls rather that got married before the age of 15. In the Southwest, although this is a little low, but there's also an occurrence, right? We have about 15 percentage of women that of girls that got married before the age of 18. In the South, we have around 26%, and in the southeast we have about 17%. And this is an issue, this is a challenge, because even though all of these different regions have their different percentage, it is still an issue in Nigeria. It's still an issue that disrupts education. It's an issue that limits economic opportunity. It's also an issue that also has effects in the health of these young girls. Now, why are we addressing child marriage in this fellowship? It is important to teach young Nigerians that this is a challenge and this is something that we should fight for. The International Day of Women's theme is accelerate action. We need to accelerate action to be able to get rid of this challenge that young girls are facing. So it is important also in this fellowship that young advocates know and understand that there are these different regions have their different percentage and gap, and that you don't just create programs or create solutions tailored to all these regions, but you create programs and solutions tailored to how they are seeing these problems and how they are challenging, how they are fighting against these problems. It's also important because we're trying to promote education as a tool to fight against child marriage. And yeah, so that is why this whole cluster on child marriage in this fellowship is important. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Not one size fits all, basically. Every region has its own different, unique approach. Fellows, I hope you're listening to this, because we will definitely get to the point where you have to create your own solutions in the different regions that you are. So you want to pay attention to the fact that not one region or not one solution fits all regions. Thank you so much again, Goodness. And so, Morenike, I'm going to come back to you now, and now want to talk about period poverty. And when we look at period poverty and several social issues, we see that there is one string that is connecting it together. And so what do you think is the connection between period poverty and broader issues, broader social issues like education, health, and economic empowerment?
Thank you, Ella. So period poverty is it's a problem, it's a big problem, and it's a problem that most times we don't really discuss about it because we feel it's just personal, it's your thing, so you understand. So period poverty, like personally, I've experienced period poverty, so I can totally relate, and it affects everything. It affects your self-esteem, your confidence, it affects even your mental health. So even though there are some persons that still feel that, oh, you are women, you are just overreacting. It's not just period. Why are you saying your stomach is paining you, cannot function and all that? So there's a lot of things that can be done. Because of period poverty, a lot of girls have stopped going to school. I remember during my time, I don't go to school because I don't want my friends to mock at me when I am staying or something. And it comes with embarrassment. You're just embarrassed that you can't even talk about, you can't even tell people that, oh, I'm on my period, that's why I'm moody. They will not understand. So poor menstrual product, a lot of girls, they don't have money to buy menstrual products, and this can lead to cross-generational relationship where they are dating boys, they have to sleep with boys so that they can save money to get menstrual product. I've seen girls that started prostitution because they wanted to have money, they wanted to get underwear and get menstrual products. So addressing this issue is a human rights issue. So everybody have to come together. We also have to educate men so that they will know that it's not just a woman issue. We will see there are several men, when their wife is menstruating, they are like, you are dirty, you are smelling and all that. So if we are able to educate individuals about menstruation and period poverty, we'll be able to solve a lot of problems that connect with this issue. So that's why this fellowship is very important. It's going to give the fellows a deeper understanding about the concept of period poverty.
Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much. You know, when I talk to people about period poverty and let them understand that even those of us who are supposedly educated and live in the rural areas, we're sometimes experiencing a different level of period poverty. I can't go to my place of work and tell them I'm having cramps and I want to leave. That's big period poverty in a different dimension altogether. So it's all shades of different things. But let's not get into that before I start to break some tables around period poverty. Thank you so much, Morenike, for sharing on that. And finally, Otari, I'm going to come to you. Let's talk about sexual grooming. Personally, I feel that sexual grooming is a form of gender-based violence of its own, even though it's not explicitly mentioned when we talk about GBV and all of the various forms, right? And so what would you tell us about the current landscape of sexual grooming in Nigeria, and why are the fellows that we have right now and also youth, why is it crucial for them to get involved in prevention of sexual grooming?
Thank you so much, Ella. It's sad that it's not yet added with, the SGDVs going on in real time, but it is sexual grooming in Nigeria is not a hidden thing. It's widespread. Many cases usually go unreported. Some people don't want to talk about it because of the stigma involved. Some people stay quiet because, because of their culture, they want to be quiet about it. And many other people do in their own right lack awareness. Now, if you go on social media, you'll find out that many people on social media would, when we talk about cross-generational sex now, many people on social media would rather settle for an older partner as opposed to, dating within their age range. Now, with the event of social media and digital interactions, you find out that grooming is evolving, and now it's gotten so bad because of what I do in broadcasting and the societal issues I report. Before now, people would say, okay, look out for the girl child, watch the girl child. But I've come to find out that even boys are no longer safe. Boys are equally being groomed. Several circumstances have come into play. Many young school boys being sodomized by their teachers and all of that. And even when you think you want to lock your kids at home or you're taking all the right steps, then you move over to, social media platforms like TikTok, because many young people are using social media, WhatsApp, Facebook, and all whatnot, Twitter. Everybody is on there, and grooming also happened there. Grooming is evolving, and the way it's evolving is making it even harder to detect, because now you have people seemingly offering this help, like they're there to help you. Like Morenike said, somebody might just come to you and say, oh, because I'm trying to help you with sanitary towel, in my own right, I can make this demand of you. Why young people need to know more about grooming is because it's a little bit hidden. Sometimes, these people are affectionate. Predators are affectionate. They come to young people. They want to buy you things. They want to help you. They want you to share secrets, be vulnerable with them. And when people start showing such vulnerability, and what many people don't even really know is that predators are very patient. They're not in a hurry. It might even take up to a year. They will be there doing everything right, ticking all the right boxes, keeping themselves in a place of trust still. The young person would eventually give in, because at that point, it would be a question of what is there that I cannot give this person after this person, has been there for me. We also have the problem of economic vulnerability. Many people fall into cross-generational relationships and, and get groomed, as it were, because of financial dependence. Cost of living is high. Many parents even now advocate to say, okay, you go out and do what you have to do. I've had some reports, in my experience, where a little girl had come to us and reported that, oh, see, her mom is even the one referring her to this action because she wants her to bring money home and take care of the family. It's very essential for youth advocates to know about this, and the fellows in this program are really going to get first-hand research and information as regards this incident, because to understand the realities of their peers and the challenges and the harmful norms within their community is one of the most important ways to drive it home. The way it happens fully in Lagos might not be exactly how it happens in Sokoto, but grooming is grooming, and cross-generational sexual relationships is also the same thing. Now, with this, I feel that what the fellows stand to gain is we are going to learn about ways, to bridge the gap as regards policy, education, and looking deep into real life actions of things that have happened. And that way we can mitigate a way where we can, find a lasting solution to this problem. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Otaria. That was really insightful, and I can't really wait to see what comes out of this fellowship with all that our fellows get to learn from all of you. Thank you so much for your insights. Without further ado, I'm just going to leave the room open for questions and answers from the fellows and the experts. So anyone has any specific question you would like to ask any of our experts, here's your time to do so, or any question you would want to ask any member of the team. We're happy to get on with your questions. We have members of the team in the chat that would be checking through it now. And while the questions and answer section is going on, please, I want you to take 1 minute, in fact, it's less than 1 minute. Go on Instagram or LinkedIn or X or Facebook, any platform where you always frequent, search for the Smile Outreach Foundation and give us a follow on that platform. You cannot be a fellow and you are not following through with our work. Before I take any questions, everyone, 1 minute, go to Instagram, go to Facebook, just go follow, like, come back, follow, like, come back, and take a screenshot and tag us on your stories to say you are here in the Youth Lab program. Our links have been dropped in the chat, so please go check us out and make sure you're following us. We have a newsletter that we share, I wouldn't say every week, because sometimes we share news and information a lot of times during the week after we get it. So please make sure you're subscribed to our Substack so that you can stay updated with all of the information that we get to share. All of the links are in the chat, and also make sure you're following our experts. The links have also been dropped in the chat for you. A lot of following for you to do today. But please permit us, go there and connect with us on social media. Thank you so much. So we're going to be taking questions now. Any questions that you would want us to specifically address, any questions you would want us to specifically address. Yes. So Mesoma says, please, I would like to know if there are any existing policies in Nigeria that tackles period poverty and how effective they have been. I think, Morenike, that question will be directed to you. Would you want to answer now, or is something you would want to discuss during your monthly sessions with the
Okay, whichever way works for me.
Okay, please go ahead.
So thank you for that question. In Nigeria, I don't think there is like a policy that is like effectively working, but there are government agencies and NGOs that provide sustainable menstrual products like reusable pad, like monthly distribution of sanitary pads to schools. So I think in other countries, like in Scotland, they provide free, anywhere you go to, either in the restroom, restaurant, school, they provide free menstrual products. So you learn more during the class meeting. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Definitely, you would learn more during that. Is there a WhatsApp group chat for fellows? No, we're using Slack. So you can connect on the Slack channel with as many people as you want to. All of the communication is via Slack at the moment. Yeah, I hope that answers your question. Any other questions? I will take 2 more questions before we wrap it up. While we're waiting for the last 2 questions to come in, please, fellows, the attendance sheet is being sent, is dropped right now in the chat. Please make sure you go to signify that you joined this first meeting, right? Go mark your attendance because we are going to be using that during the course of this program. Dorothy, are you an external member, like you just registered, or you are a fellow who got an email from us? I would like to clarify, because if you are a fellow who got an email from us, you should have gotten the email that gives you access to Slack. In fact, everyone is on Slack as we speak. So please help me clarify. Are you a fellow in this program, or you are just an external member who wants to get to work with us? Please confirm in the chat for me. ID, can you please drop the link to the attendance and pin it in the chat? The fellows are requesting for it. You got an email and you are not yet on Slack. Okay, so you would need to join Slack. Simply download the app, join Slack, and I don't know why you're not there by now. Please join Slack. There is no WhatsApp channel. It is just Slack. So you would need to join Slack today so that your slot isn't given out to anyone else, because anyone who is not able to join by today, that is the kickoff ceremony, would be substituting them with other people, because we had over 300 applications for this. So many people really interested in it. So please quickly go download Slack and join the platform. Just click the link that you see in your email to join it. Okay, Dorothy is not a fellow. Okay, Dorothy. All right. So last question. Otaria, I think this would go to you and any other experts that would want to key into this. I need your advice on a domestic violence case. I've been working on a domestic violence case I've been working on. While providing sexual and reproductive health education in a school, I discovered a case of domestic violence involving a young girl. We've been handling the case since December, but now the girl's mother has come to us saying she no longer wants us to proceed. I am unsure of what. So our experts, over to you. How would you advise that Symbiat goes around this. Thank you.
Okay, can I say something?
Yes, please, Morenike.
Because it is a domestic violence and sexual violence case, and if the mother is not in support, in your state, I don't know the state you are currently staying, there are organizations in different states that handle this type of case. They are professional, they have lawyers. I think you should reach out to such an organization so that you are not in isolation or you don't encounter a life-threatening issue, because I know how these kind of cases work. The mother can start threatening your life. So just try and look for professionals that are currently doing that thing, report to them so they will pick the case from there.
Okay, thank you so much. We have 1 more minute until this program comes to an end. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here up till the end of this. For those of you who still have more questions, please keep your questions. When you get into your cluster meetings, you definitely have the opportunity to ask as many questions as you would like to ask. Please, as much as possible, if you are a fellow, fill out the attendance. If you are not a fellow, please do not fill the attendance because it is not for you. Thank you so much to everyone who joined us. It takes less than a minute. Yes, ID is saying that in the chat. It takes less than a minute. If you don't fill that attendance, we would assume that you were not part of this meeting. So please try to fill the attendance before the meeting ends. Thank you so much to our experts. Thank you so much to everyone for joining us. And to all of the fellows, congratulations to you. Thank you so much. We look forward to the impact and the change that you create in your communities. Have a wonderful time learning at the Youth Lab. Thank you. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Ella. Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Please, fellows, if you have not filled the form, I'm waiting.